Welcome to another episode of Industrial Amputation, where you can always expect the unexpected. Charles Levi is focusing on his health and sends everyone his kind regards. Today, it is our pleasure to welcome back the King of Swine himself, Mr. Raymond Watts of Pig, whose Heroin for the Damn tour is kicking off in Chicago at Cold Waves on September 28th. If you haven't picked up Red Room yet, get on over to Bandcamp and grab it. Thanks for being back, Raymond. How you
Great
doing,
to
man?
see you guys. Great to see you guys again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame Charles isn't here. So first of all, thoughts go out to him and wishing him all the best,
Thank you. Thank you.
and hoping that he's doing as best as as he can do in this issues that he's dealing with, and sending
Yeah.
him lots of love. But hopefully we'll see him in the not too distant.
Yeah, it should be good. I mean, so just so everybody watching the show knows, we've got 2 weeks of shows coming up. We're actually taking the weekend off next weekend, and we've recorded a show with Inesh for your pleasure next week that will be rolling. But so none of us are going to be in, but we should all three be back the week after that, and able to jump back into this. So
I tell you, I've got to see the one with NS. You've recorded that, have you? Got that on?
Yes, it's piped up and ready to go for next week. Yep, absolutely.
Fabulous, because he's got a new album out, hasn't he?
He does, and it's absolutely on fire. Oh my God. Yeah.
Great. I was actually
incredible.
I was just on FaceTime with him literally half an hour ago, sort of talking about a couple of other things. But yeah, I haven't actually listened to the whole thing. I think I'm on
Oh
the track
man.
somewhere on. So I don't know. Am I? I think.
Yeah, no, I think they dropped the for right now, the opening track is all that's available through Bandcamp, but
Yeah.
we were very fortunate and got an advance copy, and it's people are going to be very, very fucking happy with
Oh,
this
great.
album.
I mean,
Yeah.
what a diamond he is.
Yeah,
And
no shit. Oh my
what a
God.
great I mean, to have him, coming along in the Pig band is great, and he's obviously contributes here and there on the Pig stuff, and I help him
Yeah.
out whenever I can. And he's such a
Can we
brilliant.
drop a little surprise about his album and a special guest performer on it?
Well, I think I'm on one track. I can't remember. We do so much stuff, but he's yeah, I think I am actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
you
stuff.
am.
Me am.
Heard you.
He's just a diamond. And I
Yeah.
think I first started working with him in like 1985, something like that, 86.
Wow.
And it's
Yeah,
just great.
you guys go way back.
He's still around, and we've done some great stuff here and there, and it's lovely looking forward to going out with him.
Yeah,
In
cannot wait to see you guys. It's going to be a hell of a show. Yeah. So let's start this off with the tour. Since last we've seen you, you've been really busy prepping a tour and seeing a major amount of love for the reissues of some classics on vinyl, which we'll get to in a moment. But first, you want to walk us what it's like getting ready for a tour?
I tell you what, the thing about wearing many hats, being a sort of small operation like Pig is, I have to wear many hats. And luckily, I've got great people around me who help out. And we all sort of do a lot of things. And I was thinking about this the other day. So back in the day, if I was like in Japan doing a Schwein tour or a Shaft tour or going out with any of those bands or helping out bands in the 80s when I used to tour with other bands, a tour manager would call you up and say, send me your passport for the visa. There's your ticket. Learn your words if you're singing or whatever you're doing, and you just turn up and go to that hotel. And this is so much more fun now because I have to do so many more things. I'll talk to.
Cool.
I've just been on the phone with Martin Atkins talking. He's helping out, lending us some bits and pieces, and saying, "Oh, you want to get a double axle trailer?" And I'm going, "What's the difference?" He says, "The amount of weight you've got with your merch, just kind of crazy shit that I would have never have thought about before."
Yeah.
Like whether we have a double axle trailer or, where are you going to get your 4x12 for, and which hotels, and da 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 da, and where are the cheapest t-shirts, and where are the best this, and where are the best that.
Yeah.
And it's many, many hats. And then I go, shit, have I thought about a set list? Have I thought about a this? Have I thought about a that? And it keeps you a lot more busy. And that is great for me because it keeps me out of fucking trouble. Because
yeah,
when I was on tour in the past and it was like, no, Raymond, you're not supposed to come in for sound check for another 3 hours.
Yeah.
Well, I just get up to fucking no good.
Yeah.
And that was really bad for me and probably wasn't great for my health and all sorts of other shit. So things
Yeah.
are better now. I'm in a better space doing lots of shit with stuff.
Now, did you ever see this being where you would be eventually when you were back in the day doing the thing?
Oh God, no! God,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. There's never been a master plan.
Right? It's kind of beautiful the way this is all kind of unfurled in such a perfect way. You've really put in the time, and honestly, man, we're so fucking excited for you.
Yeah,
That's really kind. I really appreciate that, and it is really sort of amazing to be able to sort of be at this point in life and take
Yeah.
stock and think, oh, I'm going out on tour with Steve White and Enesh and Bradley and we're this age. And luckily
Yeah.
having the awareness to be really grateful for the fact that we're doing this and
Yeah.
grateful for the people who support us
Yeah.
and having a small congregation of people who seem to appreciate and that is mutually reciprocated by myself and the guys I work with. And
Yeah.
because pig isn't me,
Yeah.
it's the people who make it happen. And the
Mhm.
people who support it are pig, and the people who work with me, and the people who do, you know, Gabriel Edvi who does art for me, and you know, Vlad who does art, and da 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 da, and all the kind of wheels and the cogs in the machine.
Yeah.
And that is, it's really amazing to be a part of something like that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I love that the people in the scene, people with bands like Pig and with Inesh's project
Yeah.
and other projects. There's so much cross-pollination.
Yeah.
I don't know who necessarily to attribute this to. Martin Atkins, I'm sure, has a hand in it, from doing Pig Face and getting so many people to
Yeah.
work together outside of projects. But there was already sort of that mentality. Revolting Cox was another. So it's great to see people making the rounds. I mean,
It is quite interesting that because like industrial music, when I started off in the early 80s working with Psychic TV, and then I was in this band called Zoskia, which was
yeah.
a splinter band from Psychic TV and a couple of guys from, you know, the Coil guys who left, blah, blah, blah. And then I worked with this band called Anschutz and Neubaut and all that stuff. And that sort of early 80s industrial thing was very much about confrontation and fuck everyone
Yeah.
and adversity and chaos and the sort of the uncomfortable, more uncomfortable, difficult, jagged aspects of human nature. And I always felt really warm in it because although it was a chaotic scene, at least it felt like our chaos. So
Yeah.
you know, like it was chaos and it was awkward and difficult, but it felt like that was a kind of, it felt like a home place for me. And
Yeah.
that's sort of still there, but it's morphed into something that there is a little bit more less confrontational,
Yeah.
certainly, but still equally adept and happy to address awkward and confrontational issues. They don't have to be reflected back as awkward and confrontational.
Well, it's all about building the structure to live in. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, there seems to be people are less difficult being supportive of other people. You know, it used to be quite a kind of cringy thing to do, but now there's a lot more support, I think.
Yeah, no, it's a wonderful thing. So we're talking about that you've got some amazing backup on this tour. You want to walk us through the lineup? Introduce us?
We've got a great band called Unit Code Machine supporting on all dates.
Okay.
And they're doing some really great stuff and working very closely with them on this tour. And then for a bunch of dates, we've got Curse Mackey coming out, and he's basically going down the West Coast and then into Texas. And then Stephen Archer and Stoneburner take the baton and go to the end from there. So it's kind of Unit Code on the whole lot, and then two other really great guests with us. So it should have a bit of kind of critical mass to it and a kind of certain momentum, which I think is great. So, you know, hopefully the whole will be greater than the sum of the parts on this one.
No, you've got the Curse and Stephen. We've had Stephen on a few times, and the new book is beautiful. And
I'm looking forward to checking that out. I haven't seen
yeah.
that.
So, and he's absolutely phenomenal on stage. Stoneburner is absolutely incredible. And I'm just going to put this out there. Seems like maybe a little bit of a missed opportunity, considering you've got the King of Swine and you've got the Big Bad Wolf on the same tour. Seems like there might have been a little moment for marketing in there to get something Three Little Pigs wise.
I missed that one, man.
But I don't think this wolf's going to try to blow your house down. So that's a good thing.
In today's uber stressful world, as the divide between the haves and have-nots continue to polarize, escapism, darker sides turn to much wider audience. Heroin for the Damned is particularly profound. Can you elaborate on what inspiration wrapped up is in that theme?
Well, I mean, I think the hint is in the title itself. You know, it's a kind of, I suppose, it's fairly self-explanatory. The idea is that, you know, you fucking feed people fucking numbing shit, and you know, it's rather like that saying, you know, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. If you feed on mind-numbing shit, there's only one fucking result.
Yeah,
the result is being mind-numbed.
Yep.
You know, and whether you call it heroin or fucking reality TV shows or bullshit politics or fucking
evangelicism.
Evangelicism, or what do they call it? You know, the shit I get fed on this thing, you know, doom scrolling.
Yeah, doom scrolling. Yeah.
Just, you know, I mean, and I can admit sometimes I'm going, what is this? Why have I ended up looking at this rubbish? You know, like, you know, I mean, that I think that's what it's alluding to.
Yeah.
You know, just being fed this constant stream of fucking mind-numbing fucking shite.
Yeah. Well, it's fucking it's a great message for the world right now. So it's welcome, and you know, I love it when our art shakes things up, points things out. You know, because people are definitely ignoring stuff. So what may fans expect to see on the show?
Well, do you know what we're doing? On the last 2 or 3 shows, we've taken visuals with us, you know, projections and all this shit. And this time we're going to take it, make it really simple, and it's going to be music. It's going to be 4 guys on stage playing music.
Oh, fucking
how about that for a band on tour?
Oh, right. It's like, what are you doing, MTV?
So yeah, we're just taking it to a fucking, you know, hopefully a killer set list. Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, boom, boom, boom. You know, it'll be music.
So at the end of the show, we're all going to be married. Yes. Awesome. I love it.
It'll all end up in tears. Worry not. Well, no, I hope not. I hope the fuck not.
It'll be happy tears, man. It'll be happy tears.
Oh, I hope so.
So, Joey?
For the VIP upgrade, you know, what can fans expect for in indulging in that?
Okay, well, so I've done 2 EPs recently. One is the one called, I've got one called Feast of Agony that comes out on the 27th, right? Which is a download streaming thing from Metropolis, and I'm doing a vinyl version of that will only be available on the 2nd. Right?
Nice.
So that is a bunch of new songs, and then I've got a couple of new songs and a great remix from Jim Davies from one of the songs on the last album, or the one before, from The Merciless Light, and then a revamped version of an old Pig 90s track from the 90s, and that goes on a CD that VIPs get. It's a meet and greet, and then I do some personalized artwork on that. So there's like a 4-track EP that they get, which is only available on the thing as on the meet and greet, and they get a little tote bag and some fucking cool stickers and some bits and bobs and a laminate thing and stuff like that. And again, going back to where you asked it, I mean, that's what they get in answer to your question there.
And the opportunity to say hi to you. And
well, you know, one of the things is when I started touring again in 2016, going back to your original question about sort of wearing many, when I was answering, it was many hats and doing more stuff. And, you know, back in the day, you just showed up, did your words, and then got fucked up and got taken to the next venue. You know, now there's so much more to do. And that meet and greet thing, I actually genuinely, when someone suggested you should do a meet and greet on tour, I was like, what? God almighty, no, you know, that will really make my imposter syndrome even more out of control, which I sort of my whole life. But actually, I find, hand on heart, meeting people in that gap between the end of sound check and sort of the beginning of the show really enjoyable. And for me, I actually really mean it. You go to some city and instead of just hanging out in the backstage and waiting and twiddling your thumbs, I meet people who are local. It's really great to meet people. I like people. It's one of the funny things I've discovered about life. I actually fucking really like people. I mean, who thought that would happen? And I like people, you know, and if we've got something in common, that they know a couple of Pig songs or a couple of Pig records, and it really makes the whole experience completely different from just going to Austin and doing a show. You meet some people from Austin and you talk to them, and I kind of really enjoy it. So it's not just a, I mean, I know there are some musicians who find it a bit of a drag from what I've heard, and some people have told me. Luckily enough, I really enjoy it.
Well, that's good, man. And it shows too. You know, even when you haven't had meet and greets, you've always been really, really good with the fans. I mean, I've got a great picture with you. We did our eyeliner together in the bathroom at the High Line. So,
what great venue the High Line is!
That was the one on Broadway, across the street from the sushi bar.
From the Japanese, I love that place.
Yeah,
I mean, that restaurant
it's not there anymore. Yeah.
Is it not there?
It's
God,
not
we
there
used to go
anymore.
there. We used to go there in the fucking mid-90s, man, when we were recording down at what was that studio called?
Oh God.
Big studio there called
shit.
Yeah, anyway, that place. It was owned by that huge band, were they called Heart or something?
Yeah.
What was it called? Anyway.
I'm drawing a fucking blank. Yeah. There's too much weird shit rolling around in my head.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a lifetime ago. But the Japanese, I remember. I can't remember the name of the studio, which we made lots of fucking recordings in, like Nihil and shit. And I can't remember that.
Man.
Japanese was great. Anyway, yeah. There you go.
All right. So, Raymond, you re-released your landmark album, Sensation, remastered and available for vinyl the first time on August 23rd.
Yeah.
Fucking gorgeous.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Love this so much. It was released in Japan first, but in the US, it was initially released on Trent Reznor's label, Nothing Records. How did you end up on his label?
I don't fucking know. I'd gone on tour with him the year before, in '94, when they were doing whatever that tour was. That when we did we played in Ireland and around the UK and a few in Belgium and Holland and stuff. I can't remember. And he asked me to go on that tour, so I went on that tour, and then they said, "Can we do your record?" So they did the record. I mean, it was lovely to be on that label because it exposed us to more people than would have normally been, come across that, the label, hand on heart, honestly, I think it was owned by Interscope. Nothing.
It was an umbrella under.
I think they did the day-to-day stuff. Trent was obviously, John Mann were obviously very busy with that huge 9 Inch Nails thing. So the day-to-day stuff from the Interscope people was a bit like, what the fuck are we doing with this? But just the fact that it was on Nothing was enough to expose it to be, I mean, I don't think it was very long-lived, that label, was it? I mean, there was...
It actually went a little bit longer. He went over to the electronica side and started bring over like bands like Tucker and Bowling Green and what are some of those other bands? Plaid and all these other bands in Europe from Warp, because Warp wasn't getting distribution. So it went for a good while and then dissipated. And then some guy named Brian Warner Manson, I think, and then it kind of just stopped. But I had a good run. There were some solid albums on there, like Me Beat Manifesto, and a whole bunch of Neubauten.
Were Neubauten on the label for a while? I know they were supposed to be. Did they release anything on Nothing?
They did at least one. It seems like he was paying it back to a lot of the bands that he really respected and he'd, looked up to, and he released like Thes on there, an album.
Yeah.
And, there's quite a few stuff on there. I got
Coil was supposed to be on as well, but I don't think they ever actually released anything.
They didn't release it. No, they did put out like a remix, like a bunch of remixes. I think it was on another label. That was on another label, but it was all Nine Inch Nails remixes because they were very involved with a lot of Nine Inch Nails remixes. But
the thing is, of course, though, Sensation was never on streaming services. So at last now it's able to be, on whatever and stuff. So.
Right on, man.
What were you going through in life that influenced the writing of Sensation?
I think I've said this before. I noticed that, I said it and it's mentioned in the press release. I was in a pretty strange place at the time. And the way I've described it is, I was looking in a very, very, the darkest forest, that allegory. I was looking in the darkest forest, looking for fruit, and that meant I sort of had lost my way, and I sort of actually thought I had to take myself to the most extreme places to be able to discover something about myself or something, and the result was the record. But I think, and that went on for a few years, this idea that I sort of thought I had to I look back on it now and think maybe I'd sort of lost my imagination and I couldn't imagine things. I had to do them. I had to go to the very fucking depraved, darkest place to find something. And of course, that's not true. But, when you're younger, you don't quite, I sort of every record, I kind of seem to be having to sort of push myself further. And it was, it was very, very, I was, I had a great studio filled with fucking synths and samplers and shit, and Steve White would come in and I'd get drugs delivered and I would just stay there for days and days making that record. So it was quite weird going and remastering it and thinking, wow, it's pretty sad, but it's quite impressive in a way, but it's quite sad, but it's quite, I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I went there. I'm glad I made the record, gave birth to it. Interesting to go back quite a few years later and listen to what was going on there.
Yeah. Now, speaking of someone that's had some drug troubles of their own, did that present any problems with your recovery?
What, listening to it recently?
Listening to it, working on the remasters and stuff, or?
No. I mean, I'm really, really glad that I'm not in that place anymore.
Yeah,
but
I've been feeling that too.
I do not have any regrets about it whatsoever.
Excellent.
I just go, that happened. I'm glad, I'm lucky I came back.
I got something out of it. So yeah.
It's a really great thing going through life, and luckily, having close shaves and being in bad places and coming out of it, and it makes me put things in proportion and makes me appreciate the little stuff that I have here and the people. And the currency of humanity is elevated by that. The currency of support is elevated by that. The currency of relationships, the currency of being able to do what you love doing, the currency of having the little bit of sanity that I've got left, the currency of having the little bit of health. I mean, I do feel pretty riddled with aches and pains and stuff, but my soul is still here and keeping me warm, and I'm really lucky to be able to have that shit going on.
That's beautiful, man. I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that. Yeah, I got like, why do I have this pain in my elbow? Ow.
Oh God! I tell you, right? Markets and paintings, it's like a fucking shopping list. If I start, you'll be here for the next hour and a half. And I say, oh, and also I've got this thing here. I've got this mate of mine now. This mate of mine who's a fucking doctor. Every time I see him, it's like, oh, what about this? It's like, no, Raymond, go away.
Oh my God. So Joey, you want to go on this one, or you want me to get it?
I'll get this one. So the production on this album has always felt huge. Was there a specific reason for that?
On Sensation, we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't really know. I mean, it was just literally what it was just the noise in my fucking head. There was this burning desire to kind of create this, dig it out from here and put it out of the fucking loudspeakers. And it was intentional as that. You know, I just kept going until I got something that was sort of what was going on in here. It didn't take a huge amount of time either, because I was busy doing other things. I was fucking, you know, going to America a lot, recording out there and doing shit in Japan and all sorts of things and doing remixes. So it was, you know, pretty pedal to the metal in terms of like, get right on with it and make the sound that I felt comfortable with. You know, I didn't know exactly what I wanted, but I knew what I didn't want, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, it is incredible. That album is a landmark in the genre. It really is.
Great.
Thank you.
So the remaster sounds incredible. You certainly took the album to another level. You know, I don't remember it ever sounding this polished before. How hands-on were you with the remastering of this album?
This guy called Tom, who's at Abbey Road, he does my shit for me, and I just send him stuff and he sends it back, and I go, I think it needs a bit more low end, or it's a little bit over limited and stuff. And then he goes, how's this sound? And I keep, and then we backwards and forwards a little bit.
Nice.
Sometimes it's great. First time it's that simple. Yeah, I just, you know, I just go, take this, do what you can with it. And then he literally, I just give comments and we leave it. Like, I don't sit in the old days, I'd go and sit next to the guy. You know, I mean, the best guy to go and sit next to was Howie Weinberg over at Master Disc when he was in New York. You sit in there, and most of the time you spend to talk to him about all the amazing records that he's made with people.
Yeah.
And you go, oh yeah, that sounds fine. That sounds fine, Howie. He's not there anymore. He's I think he's moved to the West Coast, doesn't he? I don't know. But yeah, nowadays I just send the stuff to Tom and let him do it and listen, and that's it. He did a great job, I think. Really good job.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. This album gets a lot of love. Did you expect the vinyl to sell out that quickly?
No, I didn't. It just seemed to disappear really quickly. I mean, I think they sold out like however many they've got at Armlight, and we've got a bunch that we're going to take on tour with us. So hopefully
hopefully they make it to Seattle, because I wasn't able to get one.
I fucking hope so, man. I really hope so. I think, I mean, without being presumptuous, I think Armlight might have to pull the trigger on another pressing, because I did see, I mean, I think it disappeared on the day it was available. It went really quick.
Yeah, it was very, very quick.
I mean, I mean, this is kind of, I suppose, I'm always a bit slack-jawed in amazement when that happens. Yeah. And I suppose it relates to that sort of imposter syndrome thing that I was talking about earlier. I kind of go, that can't be a record of mine, you know? I kind of, what? Like, it makes me almost a bit, you know, hand on heart, honestly, a bit kind of like, amazed that anybody would want to.
Are you sure they're buying the right record?
I just, that is just my natural position on things.
I
I've always been like that. I kind of go, that can't be a record of mine that they want to buy like that quickly. So I'm the last person that would go to Armlight, you know, and I have a great relationship with Armlight, who make the vinyl. I'm kind of the last person who'd go, no, you want to make double that, press thousands, you know, I'm always like, no, keep. And in a way, the way that Pig is sort of almost willfully quite obscure and quite kind of a sort of small church, I'm kind of comfortable with. It means that we kind of have a very kind of close relationship with the people who buy the Pig stuff. Yeah. And we don't, and yeah, obviously it's always been, you know, you always go, oh, it'd be nice if there was a bit more, but genuinely, I'm kind of very comfortable with the level that we operate in. And I'm the last person to go like, yeah, press more. It's always quite a sort of limited thing.
Yeah. Well, it's doing very well. Joey, you wanna show this off, man?
Yeah, just so people definitely try to get one of these on the tour. I mean, they put a lot of work into this. There's like a lyric sheet, there's a artwork in there that you inside here as well. And what I think is really incredible is this in the back, the etching is
yeah. I was amazed by that etching. It's great. And I really like the pull out thing that's like this long inside with all the stuff You know, I mean, I thought that was really great. Have you got it there, Joey?
Oh, fuck yeah, man. I'm surprised because I bought I was like number 71, I think, left, and then Nick got here. And I was like, the dares
Wow.
before you came on. So I was like, that's kind of like fate and stars aligning. So
Yeah, that is pretty,
first
man.
one, I think.
It is a pretty record. It turned out very nicely. Well done, dude. Well done.
Thanks. Thanks. Well, it's not just me. It's like
Oh, well, yeah, no, for the whole team.
and
Yeah.
Steve Lovell Davis, the art guy, and Vlad, who remastered the art, and all sorts of well, lots of people.
Armalite's done a hell of a job. This was Metropolis.
Metropolis CD, Armalite vinyl.
Armalite vinyl. Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Well done, gang.
Yeah.
Well, anyone that hasn't seen the video for Paniac from Sensation needs to look it up immediately. Seeing that video on Alternative Nation back when MTV played music videos is how Pig came on my radar. Do you remember? Can you talk about what the shoot was like for Paniac?
I remember those flames were fucking hot, and I got a really bad injury that day as well. It was a lot of throwing ourselves around. It was a kind of big production. It was back in the day when we had sort of like big production shit going on.
Yeah.
And worked with a director called Philip Richardson, who did a lot of stuff with Peter Christopherson, the guy from Coil, edited a lot of his videos. So he was very, very au fait with the genre. And immediately he did a couple of other videos for me around the time. And I had great Steve White's in the video, and Joanna Peacock, and Ollie Grassett, who played live with Pig a bit, you know. So it was just, you know, it was a big day's filming in a big warehouse, a lot of Marshall cabinets, a lot of flames. There was all these fucking pyrotechnic guys. That's what I remember about it. And I think I'd been in the studio all night the night before, turned up, and it was just done. And it was great. It was great being able to work with those people. It still, you know, stands the test of time, luckily, I think.
It does.
You know, leaving the studio and going out to play with fire, that's always a fun time. So
oh yeah, of course Joanna does that thing. She did this performance art stuff with this kind of grinder with all these sparks up and shit. Yeah. It's quite visually arresting, all that stuff. So I got a comment from someone on social media saying, "Oh, you've been ripping off so and so." And I thought, oh, who's so and so? And I followed the link, and it was somebody who was like some girl doing performance stuff. Great, you know, I'm sure all fabulous, but like she was like 26, and I said, I think she wasn't even born when we did this. But you know, I mean, they were fine. They said, "Oh no, I didn't. You know, I wasn't being hostile or anything. I was just." But everybody rips something off. You know, it's fine. You know.
Yeah. Oh my God. Say congratulations on the success you've had with Red Room. The album has done extremely well as a recording of that caliber. Absolutely should. Do you think how are we getting closer to the vinyl release for that one?
Hold it right there.
I'm holding it right here.
Exclusive right here.
Woo-hoo.
I'm so excited. What he's bringing back. What he's gonna bring back.
I am very excited too. Oh my God.
Dun, 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 dun. You saw it here first. This
oh my God.
Arrived.
Oh,
gorgeous.
This is making me so happy.
Look at that.
Man.
Got 2 extra tracks on, and there's 2 lovely heavyweight vinyls here, and there's this fabulous book thing here with photos and words, and each one's signed, and blah 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 blah, and blah 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 blah. And then and you will find.
Oh, the nice.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
that is so pretty.
Yeah, that is you're the first people to see that. That is the Red Room vinyl.
Man,
social media thing up.
Thank you so much for that, Raymond. Oh my God, that is awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's turned out really nicely actually. It's got this lovely sort of satiny kind of finish to it, and it's just
that is very pretty. That is very pretty.
Yeah, what else is in here? Is anything else in there? What's that? Oh, there's the other one. Yeah, two lovely red vinyls.
Man.
Cool.
So these are going to be available on the tour, or we're going to be seeing a.
I've got to do a thing up to let the note go. The pre-order's got to go up now. You've just reminded me today. We'll have a so when I hang up from you guys, I'll have to do a little announcement thing, and
Awesome.
and yeah, so that's available now. And if this goes up tomorrow, Monday, whatever Monday is, the
Mhm.
what is 16th, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there.
And then we'll have a bunch of them on tour to sell.
Damn. Right
Great to
on.
hear.
And these are signed on the inside too, yeah? You were saying?
Each one has been signed, and then I had to go down to the place and sign
Yeah.
them, and they send them off, and they get, you know, packed up.
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah.
you know.
Excellent. Damn, that is so freaking cool, man.
And it's got a couple of extra tracks on that you only get with the vinyl. So blah 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 blah.
Awesome.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, you know, I'm I got the CD in and it was folded in half. And I know I was like, what the hell happened?
Did you get onto
No,
the top
no,
of
they
it?
got no, they got me totally covered for it. I'm like, do you want it back? I mean, maybe you can show the warehouse guys, make sure it gets packaged a little differently. But the next one that came in was perfect, and I play it often. It's fucking awesome. I cannot wait to get my hands on the vinyl though.
Cool.
You know,
Awesome.
something I've always admired about you, Raymond, is your style and the way that you dress. You know, it's present like in your all throughout your career, but you know, even on the first Pig record, you know, holds up. Um, Poking the eye with a sharp stick. Look at this handsome devil right there.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Yep.
Ass he looks. And look at the look, man. I mean, he look at this style. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you attribute your aesthetic to?
I just honestly, I don't know. I don't. I still find things in. I was in a a charity shop the other day and found a couple of jackets, and I was just sometimes I just look and I go, that'll do.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly though, I don't put that much thought into it. I'm as vain as the next person, but yeah, I don't know. It's one of these things where if I sort of stopped and thought about it, it might turn to stone. So it's
Yeah.
rather like where does the music come from? I don't really analyze it too much because I
Yeah.
find that if I sort of stop and look at what am I doing? What it's rather like you were asking about what the aim of the production on Sensation.
Mhm.
Really think about it. I think about the words and the music and stuff, but in a kind of non-analytical way, in a
Yeah.
way. Just try and
Yep.
go on feeling, and otherwise, the magic might disappear.
Yeah.
So I used to sometimes go like this. For example, if I wrote lyrics when I'm writing, I used to, for example, sometimes go, and I go, oh, that's fucking great. That's a banger. I should save that and put it on one side. I never do that anymore. If it's there and it fits, I just put it on. And just trust that the tap will keep running.
Yeah.
And luckily someone was saying to me the other day, they just said, you just keep doing stuff. And I just go, yeah, because look, it's just there. The tap is just on. When it did dry up when I was in the Sensation, Wrecked, Genuine American Monster, and all that time. I stopped after a while because I just felt done. I was physically fucked. I was doing it the wrong way, maybe without the kind of creative thing. I just wasn't managing my way through the furnace of creativity very well, and just had to stop. And since then, since the Gospel and Pain is God and Risen and The Merciless Light and Red Room and Baptize, Bless and Bleed and all these other fucking EPs and things, luckily the well keeps filling up. However much I take it and be creative, it may stop though. But so I'm lucky and grateful that it's going on. God, I'm fucking sorry for being so long-winded. I'll shut the fuck up.
Oh, dude.
We love your answers. Don't That's what this show's about, is those long-winded answers.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So, is there anything else that you would like to talk about today?
Well, no, I mean, it's really nice to talk to you guys. I'm looking forward to getting out on tour. I'm looking forward to the release of Feast of Agony,
Yeah.
which is this new EP, and I haven't actually even seen the vinyl of that yet. That I'll get next week, I think, in Chicago, or the week after.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I hope to see you guys out on the road, and I hope to see as many people will come as they want to come. And we're looking forward to getting around in one piece, mainly.
Yeah, I don't doubt you're going to have packed houses every place you stop, man. It's
We'll see.
yeah, no, it's I'm definitely going to be there. Thank you for sending me the link so I was able to get my VIP pass because I was having trouble with that. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing you and Ash and Bradley and meeting Steve. I actually think I met him before, but I can't remember where. Oh wait, maybe he was. I think he was playing guitar with my friend William Wilson. You know William, yeah?
Do I?
Think he was with KMFDM for a little bit, probably after you were gone, but
maybe, yeah.
But yeah, Legion Within.
Oh, I know that.
Also, yeah, and he's doing the I can't remember what the name of it is now. The Order of the Black Star, his David Bowie tribute thing.
Oh, that's yes, because Steve plays with them.
Yes, that's the one. That's
it. Yeah. Now it's making sense. Yes, no, I've heard about him. Yeah.
It's a great guy, absolutely lovely, and yeah. So it's absolutely a pleasure to have you on again and to be able to talk with you.
The pleasure is absolutely mine. And it's really, I really appreciate the support. Really genuinely do. And looking forward to meeting you guys.
Yeah.
When we meet on the road.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll see about getting you some dinner that night if you've got any time. I know it's tight with time, but if you do, I've got you covered. So
appreciate it, man.
All right, kiddies, grab your tickets if you haven't already, and definitely grab the new album. I guess you can look for that pre-order for the vinyl. It's going to be ready by the time we release this. You will have the opportunity to get the vinyl. So
the pre-order for this will be very simply at pigindustries.bandcamp.com.
Excellent, awesome. So thank you very much. We'd also like to give a shout out to Giles and Brooke over at Armalite Industries, in addition to Shauna at Shameless Promotion PR. Thank all three of you for the support you've given our show. It means absolutely the world. We have reached the end of another episode, which is dedicated to our dear friend Jason Lupo. Thank you for all your support, for the love, not just for the artists and the scene and the show, but for each other and for supporting each other and yourselves. Keep your mind on lifting each other up. We can all use some grace now more than ever. Make the art, sing the songs, tell the jokes, spend time with animals. You are loved. You are all loved. Love, hugs, and belly rubs. Cheers.
Great. You've just reminded me I've got to take the dog for a walk.